What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest gaming podcast on the internet, the One Up Gamescast. I'm one of your hosts, Carl Sinclair, joined as always by my brother from another mother, the man with the plan, Master Chief in the streets, Master Cheeks in the sheets, Jack Gim. I know how, but how are you doing, bud?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. We gotta find a new hobby for 2 months.
That's gonna be rough, dude. That's gonna be rough, man.
Yeah, thinking about picking mushrooms. That'll be the one to go.
Mushrooms.
Yeah, yeah.
I love how most people be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go pick apples or blueberries. I'm gonna go out into the orchard, and you're like, I think I might pick mushrooms in hopes that I'll bite one and it'll take me on a cosmic journey straight back to Battlefield 6.
I'm trying to think, what's the closest thing to where I live I can pick? That might be it. I don't know. Without going on the private property. Anyway, that's not the podcast about, mate.
Private property. I love that.
Battlefield 6 has wrapped up its beta.
True. Oh man, I'm sad.
8 glorious days of Battlefield 6.
It was so good.
Played as much as possible. Definitely tired as a result. But it was good. It was good. It was good. It was
better than expected.
Better than expected, I think. I think the reveal was good. The multiplayer reveal was great.
Yes.
But like you're still, the people they invited to the event, it's sort of like
the COD gamers.
Yeah, there's a lot of people at that event that I don't think had played Battlefield before, which is fine. I'm not criticizing them, but it does make it a little bit harder to judge what's going on, I feel.
That's fair, yeah.
So it was good. It was good to get some hands on. The first weekend I enjoyed thoroughly because I think it was just fresh. Even just a fresh game, not even just Battlefield, just a fresh game.
Yeah.
But this weekend, I really thought about what I'm playing and whether it's fun and a good Battlefield and those sorts of things. And I think, I think for a video game, like this is a beta, by the way, like it was pretty solid beta.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be willing to give that like a 9, 10 out of 10. Like I really fucking enjoyed it. For a Battlefield game, I think it's probably more an 8 or a 9. I think it's got a little bit more to do. But what's interesting, I read a little bit, like I did do some Googling and just remember this on my own, but the reception to the Battlefield 4 beta was not good.
Yeah.
It was bad. And the Battlefield 3 beta, I feel like the reception was good if I remember correctly, but it was buggy as all shit. Like it was hard to play, So coming out of this beta, I'm like, all right, it's not perfect. But every single one of my complaints are fixable. They're just tweaks to, a few things. Like as in, we're 2 months from launch. Normally we're 2 days from launch or 2 weeks from launch. So
yeah.
I think one of my complaints, was just around some of the weapon stuff. Like I do think closed weapons. Like last week on the podcast, I was like, you know what, open weapons, closed weapons, I don't give a shit. But the more I played it, the more closed weapons was really how this game's meant to be played. And frankly, it feels like how this game was designed. And those playlists had Battlefield players in them playing properly, not properly, but playing the objective and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So, my opinion's definitely shifted over the week, and it's not a negative change. It's just a more thoughtful reflection on the beta. So, I think I share a little bit of the community sentiment that like it was kind of weird that we had 3, 4 like small maps and 1 small big map. It would have been nice to get out on a big map. Or what the true test of this game will be is Operation Firestorm, because we know how that should play. We know how that should feel. We know how that should be. So, the people online calling for another beta weekend with a bigger map, I don't want it at the cost of development. But like, if it's ready to go, I'd do another weekend on a big map just to make sure we're all good in that department.
Yeah.
But look, the game ran phenomenally well. We're in a beta, a couple of graphics issues, maybe bugs, the odd bug like falling through the earth while you're dead sort of thing. And what was the other problem? I can't remember, but like
there was one where my gun disappeared. There was another where my body disappeared.
On weekend 2, though, I noticed. Or did it? Maybe I was mistaken.
I only had one issue on weekend 2, and that was that time where I spawned like. I was in the tank, but the tank had me underground. But the second I got out of the tank, everything was normal. But weekend 2 was way smoother than weekend 1, for me at least. Like in terms of like, I had a couple of bugs, but nothing that made me want to stop playing or nothing that completely ruined my experience. It was just, bug. It's like, okay, yeah, we're in a beta. That shit's gonna happen. It's like we're here to test it. So
Totally.
if it happens, it happens. Weekend 2, way smoother. Like at no point did anything go wrong. I think it was
The only I was just gonna say the only thing about Weekend 2 was like people getting a little bit more cheesy in the open weapon playlist, like getting up on the roof, stuff like that. That'll all be fixed in the main game. That's fine.
yeah,
But no, like I mean, the fact that the game like on Xbox is like 60 frames minimum and looks beautiful. My personal computer was running it better than my frame rate was higher than Call of Duty. The game looks better than Call of Duty, and I'm flying a fucking jet through the sky.
There's way more going on in
You know
this
what I
game
mean?
than
There's
any
so
COD.
much
Yeah,
going on,
so much.
and I'm getting like 30 extra frames on COD, or maybe not 30, but like it was jumping around a bit. I will admit, like it was jumping quite a bit, from probably 20 frame range, depending on what was going on. But if you're under a tank getting grenades thrown at you and stuff, I mean, if I lose 10 frames, I mean,
I'd expect you to.
because I'm playing with an unlocked frame rate as well, so
there's
totally.
a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know, like all my complaints are just fixable. You know what I mean? Like we need to tweak that shotgun, which we've already said they will. Some changes to the classes, like the deploy points going to assault, things like that are going to be huge improvements for the assault class because the assault class sucks.
Which I didn't think would happen, but yeah, like we had that conversation last night. Like every other class felt great. Assault felt like it was lacking, so it would feel balanced, but it just, I don't know, just didn't feel.
Well, it had to lack ammo because it's fucked to get to assault rifles, two primary weapons. But yeah, it definitely needs that that deploy point to make it a team play. But then yeah, that's do something to sniper class to make up for it. But obviously, there's a lot of gadgets that weren't in the beta, a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
Also, I read online. Now, this was just a comment online, like on Twitter or Reddit or something. This is not official news, but it does appear as though in the final game you won't be able to carry a rocket launcher and a stinger. Because in the beta you carry both, and you could just deal with any vehicle at any time. Like it was crazy. Okay. The landmine at the multiplayer reveal event looked OP as fuck, but I got 2 hits with it and 1 kill the whole weekend of using the landmine. Like it was a waste of fucking time.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, they'll have more gadgets. It'll all be fine. These aren't even complaints. These are just sort of talking through my reflections, really. But I'm trying to think what else like feedback. I had a couple of comments last night when we were playing Trap at the beta. I can't quite remember, but all in all, every problem just so fixable. Like we just need to tweak some of the rush maps, some of the spawn time delays and things like that. Like these are all just fixable in the code. You know what I mean? They're probably already fixable in Portal. Mm-hmm. This is such a good fucking like solid game. Is it the best Battlefield game ever? Like that remains to be seen, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like I think nostalgia plays a huge part. Like, Battlefield 4 didn't launch well. Like we were still playing Battlefield 3 for months. So
yeah.
I think we need a little bit of perspective, a little bit of chill. See a lot of people online who are like, "Oh, weekend 1, I was excited. Weekend 2, I've canceled my pre-order." I'm like, they're obviously tweaking some shit to learn. Like, if you're that sort of person, maybe you shouldn't have pre-ordered it to begin with. Is my opinion.
Fair enough.
But I think I'm not saying you should or shouldn't pre-order necessarily, but like I think the game is such a solid foundation. I think we should be shit scared about what they do once this game is a success. I think EA will get their fucking mittens on it.
Yeah.
And God knows what they'll do then. But until that time, this is solid. And I'm very happy. And I'm very sad that we now have to wait 2 months. I think that wraps up my initial thoughts. Do you have some things you would like to add?
I'm really excited to see some bigger maps. They do say there are bigger maps outside of the beta. I just want to see what like a big Conquest game will look like on a big ass map. But no, I think for a beta, like holy shit, like this might be one of the best betas I've ever played. Ran smoothly. Didn't really have any complaints other than what happened weekend 1. And like I said, it was nothing game ending. You know what I mean? It was just some little glitches that made it harder to play. You know what I mean? I can't see my gun, can't see my body when I'm driving. But no, like I had a lot of fun. I think it was really good. I think it was really clean. I enjoyed just jumping into a battlefield with everybody and having a great time. And like we had that one night. I think it was weekend 2. I think it was the Friday night or the Thursday night where we were just like running around doing the funniest shit. Like I think I was trying to get kills with the defibrillator, got a few of them. got kills with the torch. You know what I mean? I was trying to get that done. Like, it was just so much fun. Like, just trying to find weird and wonderful ways to kill people while everybody else is out there sweating their balls off. We're running around with paddles and torches and whatever we could to get kills. But no, it was really good. Destruction was great. Way better than I thought it was going to be. I can't tell you how many times that I died as a building collapsed around me. It was 4. It was terrible.
Oh, you kept count.
Oh, I kept count. 4 times I was just in a building as it came down. And I'll never forget one building I was rushing because there was a dude up the top who was annoying everybody. So I rushed that building, and I guess the guy in the tank just like had enough of this guy and just blew the building, and I just came down inside the building and I was just in it, and it just killed me. I'm like, yep, cool, awesome. But no, it was good. Though I think a lot of good moments, like really good moments, came from the closed weapons because, like you said, there's a lot of Battlefield players in there doing Battlefield.
It
stuff.
wasn't necessarily the guns that did it. It was just the type of players that went in there.
Yeah.
I do think the gun plays better, don't get me wrong, but it was hard to tell in the beta because everyone's got 3 gadgets. Like, there's not enough depth to the classes yet.
Yeah.
I think when the game comes out, they've already committed to open and closed playlists. I think either 2 things need to happen to improve the situation. 1, fuck the open playlist off. Or 2, every playlist needs to be available in both.
Yeah.
The beta having only 1 closed weapon playlist, that was shit. The only exception to that, I would say, is maybe domination and stuff. I don't think it matters as much in those.
The games are shorter and it feels like there's less strategy involved. Like with like bigger map, bigger modes.
Domination.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're not going in there to take a point and like hold that point. Like, even though it's the aim of the game, like you're going in there to play it like COD. You're going in to kill at one, move on to the next one. You know, that's just how it's played. But those bigger maps where you know it makes sense to have a. Actually, you want to know one big change that I would make? I was about to say it. Like, I was about to say it. Like in Omega Loss, you got your medic, you got your recon. They need to take away the auto targeting on the recon. They need to take that away. That is just like it's really overpowered.
The UAV's bad enough.
Yeah.
Let alone that fucking thing. Yeah.
Just cool it a little bit, you know, or make it a gadget. Just like it just feels really fucking insane that I can be like Peak was the perfect example, right? Like people talk about seeing the sniper glints up on the mountain, right? I'm recon and I'm running towards C. I get like a ping on where they are before they even look at me. You know what I mean? It's like, oh shit, like I didn't even know I was looking at somebody, and then instantly I know where they are. And if you're a good recon, you have a sniper on you or a DMR. If you're a bad recon, you have an assault rifle. So it's really easy to take them out.
You've made a great point. You just got to look in their general direction. I feel like you have to have the crosshairs over them for a second, then it auto pings.
Yeah, it's just very, very overpowered. And who knows, maybe they have tweaked it a little bit. Maybe they'll take everyone's criticism on board.
Such a weakable problem. Like
the
other one I suggested was when you're downed, you can only ping every like 5 seconds or a few people. Like, I don't think you should be able to ping as often as you can. So tweakable. You know, some people have criticisms about like how many lanes there are on these maps. That's not as fixable. You know?
Yeah.
So people that feel let down by that, I feel for, because that genie's out of the bag. You know what I mean? That's yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really happy with it. The UI is another thing. Like the main menu's just. It's funny. All the shittest things about this game, I could have the same criticisms about Call of Duty.
Yeah,
like the Call of Duty UI is ass. This UI is
when
ass.
did the UIs become like
Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix. I was gonna blame fucking Fortnite for a second, but nah, they were influenced by Netflix as well. I feel like Roblox is the biggest issue.
Shit.
The Roblox UI, when they took over the Netflix like UI, that's when everybody started doing it. I blame Roblox. Thank God Chris Hansen's under them. But yeah,
that's fair. It just doesn't work. Like anyway, we don't need to go into it. Everyone agrees. I've never met a fucking player on this planet that's like, yeah, I love the UI of Call of Duty. Yet,
you know, someone's going to tell us they
designer,
do. They've heard us now. They're going to tell us that they do. Look, someone's going to say they do.
I will say, if I had a nice big ultra-wide monitor, 32 fucking by 9 or whatever, and I could fit the whole UI on it, great.
Awesome.
Great. Wonderful. I don't. Most people don't. So, you know, it needs to fit on a 16 by 9 monitor to start with. Then we can, you know, expand from there.
Yes.
But yeah, like obviously the UX designers at Activision and EA are just like, nah, I used to work at Netflix and now I'm here, so put up with me.
Go away.
I don't fucking get it. I've never met anyone that's like, yeah, this UI is... anyway, To Battlefield's credit, or DICE, or a producer there, I can't remember who, but they have acknowledged people's complaints about the UI. They haven't exactly said they'll fix it, but they have acknowledged it. So
let's hope
take
that's
that
the
as
first
take that
step.
as
You know what I mean? It could be the first step. You know.
Look, that what's her name? Alex? Is it Alex? One of the producers at DICE. Like her in particular, she has been quiet. Like she was on Twitter. She might be the bravest woman in video games. Might be the bravest person in video games. Actually, I'm gonna rephrase that. Just the bravest soul in video games. She asks the question, "What's everyone like?" She genuinely was just asking that of interest. Like, what's everyone want a server browser for?
Oh,
So brave.
that is it bravery or just being oblivious? Do you know what I mean? Like, does
I
she just
think it's
not
oblivious.
understand?
I think it's oblivious. Because
Oh no.
her response, so and to people's credit, I'm sure there was some assholes, but there was a lot of genuine replies trying to get her on board, right? There was people putting like paragraphs in explaining how, they would be, spend all day at school in the shitty grind of things at work, and then get home and their mates would be on the one server every night. Like people were like pouring their hearts out, right? And she's like, I'll respond back in like 12 hours or so. Like I'll let everyone cook for a bit, you know what I mean? And she comes back and she's basically like, I think this game will cover most people's expectations without a server browser. And I'm like, oh, now that's bravery. That's a brave response.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
and I think what we found out in weekend too, that she was sort of alluding to like the custom search. So a lot of people's complaints was like they can't pick which map they want to play, right? So
Yeah.
there are certain elements of the file browser, the server browser, that are covered by the custom search, but the retained lobbies, the map rotation, because you keep getting the same maps over and over. Now, to be fair, to beta, that problem's even worse, but you keep getting the same maps over and over. Some servers are dedicated to you attack one direction, then you defend one direction. That doesn't exist. Like, there's a lot of things that aren't covered in this fucking custom search.
Yeah.
So now, my point I was going to make is like, I don't think DICE will put a server browser in this game. I don't think they will. And the thing is, a server browser is one thing, but you need to be able to host a server is the other thing, right? And that's a huge amount of work. There's no way that'll be there for launch.
Yep.
They may add it later, who knows? But I just think the fact that they were asking those questions and sort of having that dialogue, like, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think it was almost a waste of time. But like, there's a lot of studios out there not having that conversation at all.
Yeah.
And not asking people for their 10 cents.
Well, they just like, it's how it is. Like, they wouldn't care.
Exactly. And this beta being 2 months from launch and not 2 weeks from launch, it does give a little bit of hope that, okay, a server browser is not going to be whipped up in 2 months. It's just not. But the UI, I mean, that could be improved in 2 months.
True.
The auto spotting, that could be tweaked tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of feedback. People's map complaints, they can't be fixed, right? But they've got a plan for DLC maps. Like, we got a chance to sort of start shaping that. So I'm optimistic. It was devastating to read the news today that it looks like EA is kind of trying to get this into annual releases. That's really going to undo everything that we've just said positively, and all the good things and all the things that make us happy about Battlefield are probably about to be fucking blown to smithereens. And that's why there's 4 Battlefield studios, so they can make 4 annual titles each. They can make a rotation of annual titles. It's all very tragic and sad what might happen to Battlefield. But for now, Kyle, and this year, we'd be happy and we enjoy this gift from Electronic Arts.
Yeah, it's crazy considering last week what we were saying.
I just, it was quite devastating, because it's look, I'm not against there being more Battlefields. You know what I mean? Every couple of years they can drop. That's what they used to do back in the day. Every 2 years, but they dropped a fucking banger every 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. So that means we're gonna get this beautiful modern day back to basics Battlefield for a year or two, and then we're gonna be playing like back in the Roman Empire. Yeah, I know it doesn't sound terrible, right? They can't handle it. They just like, it's too much.
I feel like you're saying something like, no, Kyle. Oh, no. Before we move on, there was a community poll on the Battlefield Twitter,
Jesus Christ,
Twitter page today with over 10,000 voters. I'm going to ask you first, and then I'm going to tell you what 10,000 people thought. Now,
if this is the map thing, I know the answer.
Okay, you've seen the map thing?
Yeah.
What do you think the best map was?
Oh, Liberation Peak for sure.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's not an opinion shared by everyone.
No, that was number 2, which is surprising.
I thought it was going to be number 4, to be honest. But
I
that
thought it
was
was
by
going to be
far
number
my favorite
4.
map.
Yeah, I thought
Not
it
even
was,
close.
I
Oh,
really thought it was.
so for me, all right. So for me, it would go Liberation Peak,
Mm-hmm.
Siege of Cairo,
Yeah.
then the one in Gibraltar, something. It's with the fire in the background. What's it called? You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, Liberian Offensive.
Yeah, that's the one. And then the Brooklyn map. That would be 4. Not that I hated that map, but that's like the least interesting map to me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good map, but just I don't know. Just it felt like they were going for like some of that like magic in a bottle they've had in the past for the infantry maps, but it's like a big circle. It's just not like it's the verticality was all right, but that map feels like it was made in a lab and then put a skin of New York over it. Not, hey, we've got this interesting location in New York, let's make it a map. But what someone's going to tell me is like, Jack, that's a real place. Like 1-for-1, mate. You can just walk around. Like that's not, So I don't know. I could be wrong, but it just felt. I think that map. You know what that map would benefit from? Quad bikes. It would benefit from quad bikes.
Yeah.
Right. That's an easy fix.
Yeah.
But a hard fix to fix that map is. So this game doesn't seem to have Levolution from Battlefield 4 and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That map in particular, I'm not saying they should knock a building over, but that map in particular would really benefit from a big event. Like a ship coming in and like go overflow in the dock or something, or you know what I mean? Like just something that's like I don't know what you could do safely in New York. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be somewhat sensible. But that map in particular, I feel like halfway through just needs to be fucking just destroyed or something. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's my opinion on the map order. How do you feel about the 4 maps we got to play?
Very different than you, it would appear.
Interesting.
So, in my thing, I would go Empire State, Peak, Cairo.
Number 1.
Yeah, Empire State,
all right.
Peak, Cairo, Offensive. That's where I would have it.
Yeah, interesting.
And I think, I think Offensive's down below because it's the one we played the most. And
it felt that way, didn't it?
Yeah, so I kind of get like it's again. I'll say this: I don't think any of them are bad. You know what I mean? I don't think any of them are terrible. You know what I mean?
No.
I think they've all got something about them that's actually quite good. But yeah, no, I like Cairo a lot. I did like Cairo a lot, but then that was another one that like, but by the end of it, it was like, I think Cairo and Peak were the 2 maps where it was like, if you hold C, you're guaranteed victory. That sort of felt like towards the end.
Especially on Siege of Cairo, like if you just don't actually push the last 2 points in Conquest, you could just hold the game.
Yeah, you can literally hold them there. Yeah, and
the problem is that everyone gets cocky and gets an extra point, and that's that's where the circular motion starts.
And then you've also got, depending on spawn side, like one side has access to roofs like straight away, and they get up there, and then they try to hold C the entire time, which didn't help them towards the end because people started like picking up on that shit. And just like,
I think when the game releases, that'll be a little bit more balanced, obviously. But yeah, in the beta, that map got a bit rough towards the end. As much as I enjoyed it, I would love to see a version of that map that's even bigger. Like I feel like they've got more in it.
I think there is a bigger version. I think there is. I think we got a big.
Otherwise,
big
why would all those roofs like be perfectly unglitched? Like there was no glitches up there for players that were doing that shit.
Yeah. I think there is a bigger map. I think there is. I think it'll add a lot more, and I think it'll be good.
Or potentially even just like helicopters and stuff as well. That would make
it so cool.
That thing's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did the Battlefield community feel though about the maps?
Cairo came in at number 1.
Yep.
Peak at number 2. Empire State at number 3, and the Offensive at number 4, which probably is like me. We played it a lot. Like that felt like the one that was played the most.
It's also the map that's the most like fluid, like as in you can really just walk anywhere. Like, there's really no obstacle. I know there's buildings and stuff, but you can go through them all.
It has a good flow.
Yeah, but like Battlefield isn't known for good flow.
Yeah,
it's not Battlefield. And the only time you get good flow is like Caspian border when it's just open. Like, it's just even then there's cliffs and anyway, it doesn't matter. Interesting. I look forward to seeing the community's response when all 9 maps are available.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
if Operation Firestorm just goes to the top, then they got some work to do.
Like, wouldn't it be crazy if for this beta they just gave us what they thought were the worst maps? And we've got a whole bunch of bangers covered.
That'd be nice. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that don't like any of the maps. So I hope they pull through for those players. But me personally did like a couple a lot, and the other couple were fine.
It was good. It was good.
I think Operation Peak could benefit from a couple of extra jets though. Like on either team needs at least 2 jets.
Yeah. I think, a lot of the time it felt like it was a bit light on with vehicles, to be honest, in certain situations.
I couldn't agree more. And I could talk a while about it, but I think the jets are interesting because if there's more up there, if you're in the jet, you're less likely to get shot at.
Mm.
But you're also going to be too busy to shoot back down.
Yeah.
So it actually would remain balanced, I think.
It's pretty balanced, yeah.
Yeah, but in general, I think the one saving grace of that map was as you captured points, more vehicles spawned.
Yes.
That was probably the only saving grace there.
Yep, fair enough.
It was kind of rough sometimes. All right, we've talked a lot of Battlefield for the last 4 weeks.
Hell yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, Pokemon, dude. Pokemon World Championships has happened, and there's some big stuff. First off, we'll get it out of the way. The next location for the Pokemon World Championships in 2026 was announced, and it's just up the road from Anaheim. Now, you guys are going to be like, Kyle, San Francisco isn't just up the road. I know, guys. I've been there. I've driven that road. I know it's not just up the road, but in the scale of World Championships, it's up the fucking road. You know what I mean? We're not going to a different country. We're going up the road. So San Francisco next year will be where the World Championships are taking place. It will also be hosting the same weekend a Pokemon XP, which is some sort of Pokemon convention. I haven't done much research into that, but I will for next time. Sorry, everybody. Some of the big announcements coming. First off, I don't know who the winners are yet. I'll have all that info up on One Up Games. I've come home and I've seen a whole bunch of announcements, so I'm just going to go through them. Great though. I watched the first day of it all. Frick, it was cool. Was working the other day. Sorry, guys. But Pokemon Legends EA have online support. Like, it features some online stuff. And one of the big things was it flashed up on the screen really quick. But it has ranked battles. They're bringing ranked to Pokemon. And if there was ever anything that was going to get Jake to play Pokemon with me, it's a rank mode, mate. The man loves a good rank mode.
I hadn't just popped into the Discord.
That's it. Oh, boys. Yeah, also they've announced a 4-player PvP mode, which is also super cool. So 4 players will go into like a zone and battle it out and stuff like that. They also showed off some gameplay of like what it's like now to have a Pokemon battle, where it's like as before you would like walk around. This is a full 3D environment. So at night when you're walking through like the Poke Park and stuff, you'll have a random encounter. And if like that trainer is like a shit ton stronger than you, they will roll you. Like, it's no longer just like a PNG gets punched by other PNG and life bar goes down. Like, no, like these Pokemon are running around. They're actively dodging. They're actively attacking. Like, they're actively taking not only the other Pokemon's movement, but the player's movement into account. Like, you're running around this arena. You're no longer like stagnant. You are a part of the battle. And it looked very cool and very interesting. Whether it works remains to be seen. I'm hoping it does. I'm excited to jump in and give it a go when it drops. But yeah, it's I don't know. I'm hoping it works because like this feels like a little bit of a teaser or a taster of like what Pokemon is going to sort of transition into and become. So I'm hoping it works because yeah, Pokemon's needed a mix up for a while now. The next thing was we got a look at big update for Pokemon TCG Pocket. We got a look at the first cards coming to the Mega Evolution sort of expansion when that comes. This is coming towards the end of the year. It's part of a new season. And we got to look at Mega Blaziken, I believe. We got to look at Mega Gyarados. We got to look at Mega Dragonite. They look freaking sick. They're really going to mix up the meta because I remember when Mega cards were introduced to the actual TCG, they really mixed up the meta. Like I was running a Mega Charizard deck, and if if I could get going, like if I could build up my bench and then build up my active Pokemon, if like the person I was playing gave me enough time to do that, I would roll them. Like there was just nothing they could do. So it'll be interesting to see how they're going to balance it in TCG Pocket, where not only is it a smaller sort of bench and a smaller selection of Pokemon, but like the battles are like supposed to be a couple of minutes each, you know what I mean? Like it's not supposed to be something you take a lot of time in. So they must be thinking of a way to sort of speed it up a little bit, and so you know you can get your megas out there quicker. Because for like basically what it is in Pokemon, when you're like throwing your Pokemon out, you would put down, for example, Blaziken, right? You would place Blaziken, and then you would place Combusken, and then you would place a Blaziken card, and then you would get to place your Mega Blaziken down. That's 4 turns. And then when you place your Mega card down, I believe it was you couldn't attack with it for 2 turns or something like that. So there was a lot of build up to get to this like Giga Chad level Pokemon that was designed primarily to wipe a board. So I don't know what they're going to do to speed it up in the Pocket game, because I feel like a lot of those games can be over in a couple of turns if you've had like a bad deal, you know, like if you get cards that aren't really helpful, you can be done in a couple of rounds. So it'll be interesting to see how they balance it out. But I'm keen. I am super keen. Yeah, I'll be interested to see how it works. But I mean, maybe they've already explained it and I just haven't seen it yet, because I've only just seen a trailer. So I'll have to go through and find out. So who knows? Maybe next week I'll be like, okay, here's how it works, guys. They did explain it. But no, I'm keen for that. And the next thing, and I've seen this. This is the thing that I think is going to be controversial, and I haven't seen any community. I haven't seen any community sort of like feedback, outrage or anything yet. I haven't been on Twitter to see it yet, but I'm excited to go on Twitter and see what people think. They announced that Pokemon Champions, which is the battle game that they're releasing for iOS and Switch, will also be getting a Switch 2 version, a native Switch 2 version. It would be free, but there is a paid version for the Nintendo platforms. What does that mean? We don't know. They didn't tell us. Only that there will be a paid version. I don't know what that is going to do. I don't get it. I'll be interested to find out what they're going to do to take our money, because, you know, I'm all about giving them money, so we'll have to wait and see. But I think the thing that's going to be controversial, oh man, I hope I have the same opinion as everybody else, because they're going to come for me, is that starting at Pokemon World Champions next year, the video game, the VCG battle format will now take place within Pokemon Champions as opposed to the current Pokemon game.
Right.
So, yes. So now Champions is starting to make a little bit more sense as to why it exists.
I see. That's a big change.
That's a massive fucking change. And I think okay, this is where it's going to get. I think people are going to be pissed. Personally, if Champions runs well, you know, looks good, and evolves itself with the main game, do you know what I mean? Like, because a big part of, like, a big love of Pokemon, dude, is like starting out with them at a low level, training them up, and then, you know, battling with them. And like, there was something special about that, you know, training out your Pokemon, battling with them, taking you to the World Championship, you know, like, oh man, this is Pokemon. I love this guy. Now it's like you'll be training them and battling with them in the main game. Then you put them into Pokemon Home. And if you want to use them in Pokemon Championship, you then have to take them out of Pokemon Home. But if you want to train with them, you've got to put them back into Pokemon Home and then take them out again in the main game. There's a lot of faffing about in order to like get them into Champions, which could lend some people to be really angry. But I think the thing that's going to piss people off the most is, now I'm not saying Pokemon's pushing, you know, 120 frames, 4K, OLED, masterpiece level shit, you know, like I'm not saying that. But this Pokemon Championship game is now also bound to a phone. So it's like, there's only so far we can push it. Now I'm saying, you know, phones are getting better and better, but I think when you're designing something for a phone as well as, you know.
You're sort of also designing it for a phone 5 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
you're locking yourself to a very particular
Like it's the architecture of like the
it's
way like it's yeah.
why are they doing this? Like, why are they doing it? Like, are they like, oh man, it's gonna take us so long to get out mainline Pokemon games. Let's just update championships every year. Now this could be cool, you know, like there could be a Pokemon Championship update next year that like turns the stadium in the game into a World Championship stadium, you know? There could be World Championship events with inside Pokemon Champions and all that sort of stuff. That's what I'm hoping. That's why I think it could be okay. You know, it could be something really cool to log in on play when there's events happening within like the Pokesphere, you know, like when something big is happening within the world of Pokemon and releases that they could translate that to this game. That would be great. But yeah, I think people are going to be mad. I don't think it's going to be all that bad, but the fact that it is tied to a phone is going to make it very interesting. I'll be very interested to see. And like, what does that mean for the championship, right? Like, are they going to keep it like, okay, if you guys are doing this, everybody that is going to be playing on stage will be playing on the Switch. But then you got Joe Blow over there that's like, oh, guys, I play on my phone. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, or do they like tie it to the Switch 2 because there's a Switch 2 version coming and, you know, it'll be native on the Switch 2. Do you just say, all right, if it's happening, boom, this is where it's going to happen? Or do you cater to the individual? Like, is Jeremy up on stage with his Switch 2, which probably performs a little bit better than, you know, I'm sure they'll have like the best running phone up on stage, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah, it'll be interesting. But hey, another great year of Pokemon. I can't wait to actually sit back and like absorb all the Pokemon news, watch the final day. Will I go back and watch the other days? Maybe not. I watched day one and I'll watch the final day. I think that's good enough. You know, there's a lot to watch. There's a lot to watch. There's hours and hours and hours and hours of this shit. But I love that exists. Like, I love that we're at a stage with Pokemon where they're selling out arenas, baby. Like, they're selling out convention centers.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, people to sit around and watch like cards get thrown at each other. It's freaking sick. Another thing I was really sad that we didn't get, but I think it'll happen and I want it to happen. And I want to get everybody's opinion. So please leave your opinions down in the comments below. Go over to the Discord and let me know. Am I crazy for wanting them just to put Pokemon TCG on Switch? Like, I would just love... Like, I get the convenience of the phone and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. I just feel like I'd rather have it on Switch. That way, like, I can just sit on my Switch, do my TCG, move on to my other game, you know? It'd just be nice to have another option. Because there's also the other thing of, like, my son opens my TCG packs every day. I would love to be able to sit him down on a Switch and let him open his own packs. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going out there to buy him a brand new phone so he can play the Pokemon game. You know what I mean? Like, and that doesn't make me a bad father. I don't want him interacting with weird people on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, there's weird people out there. So it's like, I'd love to just like have another way to play and maybe give the little dude an option to play. Because I'm down with him sitting there and doing it on the Switch.
That's a fair point. Yeah. I thought like I shouldn't leave the phone, obviously, but another option wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Keep it on the phone.
Surely there's someone over there that knows how to make an app for the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be sick. And I mean, Pokemon Championships is coming out on phones and Switch. Why can't we just like move TCG over there, you know? Like, Pocket still works. I can fit my Switch Lite in my pocket, you know? Chuck it on in there. It would be interesting to see. I'd love to see it. But yeah, sad that we didn't get it again. But happy we're getting Megas. I miss Mega Pokemon. They're Mega Evolutions are my favorite, like, sort of like extra forms that Pokemon have ever done. I love Mega Evolutions. They're so cool. And I was so sad that they did them for a little bit. And then they're like, all right, now we're going to do something else. And then they did so many different things. And then eventually they put crystals on Pokemon's head. And we all agreed that it was freaking stupid. And then they've gone back to Megas. Let's go.
Love it.
Oh, goodness gracious. I think that's going to do it from us for this week, mate. We've sat here, we've cried, and then I've poorly explained Pokemon, and then we cried, and now we're here.
Yeah, it's probably a good place, Ed. I feel like we spoke about Battlefield a little more than we anticipated.
We definitely did, but it was good.
We were going to touch on Gamescom. Do you have one prediction you want to sneak in?
Okay, I think Now, I'm of the opinion that, like, a lot of what we've been told about is probably what we're going to see. But there's a lot of talk about this leading up to, and I would love to see the next Metro game get its announcement. There was a lot of hype online that, like, the studio is starting to get, like, they're getting really close to, like, announcing something or hyping us up before Gamescom. So I'm hoping that turns out to be true. I'd love to see the new Metro game. If we don't get to see the new Metro game, that's okay. It could just join the long list of games that I've predicted we would see this year that we haven't. Ubisoft.
Gonna match your energy there with a prediction, mate. No,
Yeah,
this isn't a prediction. This is just something that we're owed more than a prediction. But I'm gonna slot it in as a prediction. we need, after what happened at E3, there's a make good ode to us from Splinter Cell. And I feel like if it was the Gamescom opening night live, we might forgive them.
I would forgive them. Yeah.
There we go.
I bet we'll get the trifocal goggle sound, and then we get the trailer for the Netflix show. I would fucking riot, bro. I would.
Yeah, they can't. They just can't.
There would be a week off the podcast because I would be fucking on a plane to Germany, bro.
Between Metroid and Splinter Cell, I feel like we're gonna get something right.
We got
Probably won't be Splinter Cell.
We got to. Come on, Metro. Be good, bro. Give us a new one because the Metro games are freaking sick. So yeah, I'll be excited to see that. Well, we don't have to wait long. Gamescom is early Wednesday morning. So we'll have.
I thought it was Tuesday morning. Is it Wednesday morning?
It's Wednesday morning for us.
Oh, right. Fair enough. All right, we've got a day then. Depending on when this goes up, I guess.
Should be tomorrow. I'll have it up tomorrow. But yeah, no, I'm keen. I'm keen to see because there's a lot of cool shit announced. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
like if you're gonna announce all of this cool shit being there and be the man of that one more thing, like what's that one more thing? You know what I mean? What is it? It better be good, mate. It better be good, Keely. You're living on borrowed time.
And there's just so many things that should have been at E3 that were. So I was like, there's a couple of opportunities here, but
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
Fingers crossed. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to listen. We do appreciate it. If you enjoyed what you've heard, please like, subscribe, follow, do whatever you need to do on the various podcast services and YouTube. If you want to stay up to date with everything we are doing, you can head over to oneupgames.com where you can find the latest and greatest in news, reviews, and previews. Lots of news at the moment. Lots of stuff going up every single day. So please head over there, read it, love it, share it. We would appreciate that. But that is going to do it from us. Jack, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Mate, anytime. We'll come back and do it this week again at the end of it because we're behind on the other one. It'll be fun. All right, everybody. Thank you again for listening. We do appreciate it. Until next time, man. All you games be good ones, and we will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.